Hello and welcome to the Pause Podcast. I'm your host, John Smith, the website designer, and I guess you could also see the junior designer here at Pause Magazine. And first of all, I'm here joined by our lovely chief designer, Sophia Montero.
Hello, guys.
And to my right, I'm also joined by our amazing sub-editor, Helena Hicks.
Thanks. Too kind, John.
Okay, so we're a minute in, and this has already gone completely bettered in comparison to yesterday when Jack decided to leave the room. So how are you both doing today?
Well, I think I'm good. It's not raining in London, so I guess that's one positive that we have to take from the day.
Yeah, it's going great today.
Okay. Okay, so Sophia, the thing is, when you do a podcast, you have to speak into the microphones.
But what do I say? Like,
You say
This is
whatever
going so
you
well.
want.
It's a
you spoke about
We're
the
just
weather.
having a
I have nothing else to
conversation.
say. Okay.
How was your lunch, love?
Yeah, how was your day? Just imagine that we weren't recording and it's just a normal podcast.
Oh, I can't.
This is going to make a great social post on Instagram, which you should
Hang
follow,
on,
by the
hang
way,
on. So,
at Pause
sorry.
Mag IG.
You touched down in London yesterday evening. Where have you been?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is how a
So,
podcast works.
Yeah, guys, I'm great. I just came back from Spain. The weather's not so bad in London.
Are you sure?
I can imagine it was better in Spain, though. You're very
Yeah.
tanned.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, I don't think you look as tanned. But, no, but I mean, you're a pretty tanned person in general.
Shall I get you a spade, John?
Sorry. Oh, no, it's fine. Okay, but moving back on topic. So in the past, if you have listened to our show before, on Monday we did our Ease podcast, and here for you today is our amazing food podcast. And for some reason, I have not had anything to eat today so far, so this is exactly the sort of thing that I should be recording on a hungry stomach. So first of all, as always, we're going to cut it into some questions. And our first question of the day comes from Max Collins, and he asks, what's a food that you've tried this year and loved? Who wants to answer first?
Oh, okay. Let's go. So I've always been quite scared of avocado before. And then I've tried it and putting it into lots of different things. And then today for my lunch, I had avocado mash with chipotle and sweet corn and coriander. Coriander's horrific, but we won't talk about that. And yeah, it's just something that I've been trying to eat because it's pretty good for you, but in small quantities, obviously, and just mixing it up and disguising it.
Why do you hate coriander?
I just don't like coriander. It's horrible.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I don't like it. I'm
What's
sorry.
so bad about coriander?
It's
Lots
very
of people
strong.
don't like
yeah.
it. It's too strong.
What do you put in your curries then?
Not coriander.
Really?
No, all the usual other stuff, just not coriander.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Sophia, what about you? What's a food that you've tried this year?
You know what? I never liked green vegetables before, but I tried green peas and with potato.
Wait, what? You're saying
Yeah.
it like there's other types of peas?
There are, aren't they?
Are there?
I think there are. So why is it called green peas specifically?
You mean like a petit pois?
I don't know. What's
Like
it
a
called.
garden pea?
Yeah, you know, like the
frozen
thicker
ones.
green. No, not the frozen ones. It's like the thicker green peas.
I call them bullet peas.
Probably called. Yeah, I'm not
'Cause
sure
they're
what they're
big.
called, but I've tried them with vinegar and potato, and they're actually very
Not marrow
nice.
fat peas.
No. I don't know.
I don't know what they're called. I actually just had them in Spain. That's why I'm saying this.
Ah,
I'm so...
okay.
But, like, why are you saying green peas? You're saying, like, there's not other colours of peas. You can't get purple peas or yellow peas.
You can
I
get
think you
yellow pea
can.
soup.
Can you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's a soup. That's the combination of
Yeah,
things.
it must be yellow peas.
It's not the usual just round peas. It's like the whole vegetable.
You talk about, like, green beans?
Green beans.
Oh, that's what you're talking
Oh
about.
my
Yeah,
gosh,
green
green beans.
That's a
Like that.
completely different thing.
It's green beans. I had never tried that with potato.
That's a completely different
Yeah.
thing.
It's still not it actually. I just
Are you checking the images to make sure it was a green bean you ate?
yeah, but it's
But yeah, there's different types
It's very
of beans.
similar though.
Yeah, we have a laptop with us this time around, so, we're increasing the professionalism here in this podcast.
Well, we don't know the difference between peas and beans.
That's a fair point, actually. But for me, like, it's kind of hard because I always experiment with different foods and stuff like that. But I guess what okay, this is an audio podcast, so people can't see your facial expressions, Helena. So why are you making that face?
I don't think you're very experimental with food.
Okay, thank you, but you are completely wrong. So
Well.
I've actually experimented a lot this year with food, and I'd guess a food I've enjoyed eating a lot at the moment would be kale, because I've been Again, audio podcast. No one can see your reactions. Helena.
Ew.
But yeah, so I always like trying out different foods, and I'm trying to eat more healthy at the moment. So, peas, broccoli, cauliflower, green beans. I've been eating them a lot, and a food I decided to try at the moment is kale, and it's going really well. I'm having it in pretty much anything because... Why are you putting your hand up?
I've got a question.
Okay.
So, John, if you're trying to eat healthy, why have you skipped breakfast and lunch today?
Because
Oh,
we are
that's true.
because we are currently creating a magazine, and I'm more focused on our magazine than I am about my food situation. But after this, I will definitely get something to eat.
I hope so.
Maybe.
We should go for
No,
pizza.
no promises. But yeah, as I was saying, so I've been trying to experiment with loads of different foods, and my mum loves kale, and I thought, why not just cook up some kale? And I cook some kale, have it with broccoli, have it with some peas, have it with, stir fries, bolognese. It's amazing, and it actually works really well. So if you ever want to, try something new, I definitely recommend having kale. And you can also experiment with it in different ways. You can have it with other fruits and veg, or, you can just have it on its own. But it's completely up to you.
All right.
Audio
thanks for that,
podcast
John.
guys, you have to speak.
This is what I'm
so
learning.
under pressure right now. I'm just...
Why are you under pressure?
I don't know.
Just imagine that
I
the
feel so
microphones aren't here and
intimidated.
we're just talking about food.
Okay.
Yeah, does that help?
How do you feel about spinach? I love spinach.
Spinach is okay. I mean, it's not as good as the other vegetables I've had in the past, but it's
I'd say
satisfactory.
it's better than kale, in my opinion.
Oh no, kale's definitely better. It's got more of a crunch to it,
So
depending on how you cook it.
Yeah, I think the thing with spinach is you can put it inside a lot of foods. Like you can put in the muffins, something like that, keto muffins with spinach, and you don't really taste it. Or you can put it with cheese as well. So
Okay,
Kale's quite
so to move on from our lovely discussion just then, our next question comes from Carolina Fernandez, and she asks, "What is your favorite food-related experience?" Okay, a lot of puzzled faces here. So, Helena, instead of typing on your phone, because this is a podcast, it should be on airplane mode, by the way. What is your favorite food-related experience? Or most memorable experience, should we say?
Most
That
memorable
probably makes more sense.
experience. Okay. I'm probably going to say when I was out traveling through Switzerland, France, and Italy. So I had just a real array of food, fresh seafood all the time, lots of local vegetables and meats and cuisines. And I didn't think that actually the food would differ too much between the coast of Italy and, for example, Zurich. But, oh my God, they were so massive. And to eat like a local and just be able to fully immerse myself in it, that's probably my most memorable food experience.
Is there a food in particular that stood out for you?
I'm just like cheese and chocolate. No. So the French are really good at doing different stews. I just love scallops and all the
I hate
local
scallops.
fish and oh my God, the calamari.
I hate.
Um,
I'm not a big fan of fish food.
No, but fish food.
Fish food. That's a weird way of putting it. But
And,
yeah, I'm not
yeah.
a fan of fish-related foods, basically.
I was a big
Seafood.
fan of all the
Seafood.
salads
That's
as
the
well.
word. Seafood.
Seafood. Yeah, just the salads were great, and I just felt like I was living a healthy lifestyle as opposed to being in the UK and resorting to crisps for a snack.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sophia.
What is really interesting is that usually where I'm from, we have soup as like your first meal, and then you move on to your main meal. But usually in Japan, they do the opposite. So you'll have a small portion of rice with like tempura, and then you have the big udon soup. So they do it the other way around. And I thought that was interesting because usually I get really full when I eat soup first, and then I can't eat my second meal. And this time when I tried a small portion of rice and then ate the soup, it was just lovely.
What soup did you have?
It's udon soup, so it's like the thicker noodle soup, and then they have spring onions on top and this really lovely flavor. So yeah, that's quite interesting.
Okay, fair enough.
Obviously, being from Madeira, do you not get bored of all the seafood and things like that? So when you come to the UK, I know the UK does a lot of brown food, but is there a dish
I
that
mean,
you found yourself
Britain isn't really a
liking?
country known for their food.
No.
Unless you like pies.
Or tikka masala?
Yeah,
But
but
that was kind of like Indian, isn't it?
No,
Yeah.
it's founded in the UK, tikka masala.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, not really. You know what? In Madeira, we actually eat a lot of meat as well. We have like this kebab kind of meat. We eat that quite a lot. But honestly, I do miss the fish, to be honest, because I think it's so much more healthier and lighter to eat. But in the UK, I would say I do like a Sunday roast.
Yeah, brown food.
Yeah, very brown
Overrated.
food.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Yeah, Sunday roast.
I
I
love
feel like I'm
Sunday
like one of the
roast.
only Brits that's not a big fan of a Sunday roast.
I guess I
It's-
like it because there's lots of vegetables in it.
I guess, but it's such an overrated dinner. You know, you
I
got
just love the gravy.
yeah.
Very good.
I
Yeah,
know
but-
what I'm going to get you for your birthday.
Yeah, we're all gonna, yeah. When it's your birthday next week, we're all just gonna get you gravy. We can have a gravy party as well.
Like already made gravy.
Yeah, literally, different types of gravy.
No, we'll go for Bisto.
Oh yeah, no, we'll vary it. We'll give you like the
Oh.
best gravy, and we'll also give you like the cheap value gravy.
And then you've got
Is
to
there a
decide which
difference?
one
Yeah,
you like the best.
you can be blindfolded. You have to decide which is the best gravy.
I like that.
Stay tuned next week for when we do Gravy with Sophia.
Yeah, but her birthday's not next week though, so you will have to
Yeah,
wait a while
it's-
for that.
Yeah, a whole year.
But for me personally, I cannot give a healthy option in terms of my favorite like food-related experience, because if you've ever been to Portugal before, you have to try. I don't know how to pronounce it in Portuguese. Maybe Sophia can help here.
Yeah.
But like the Brits basically call them churros.
Churros.
Yeah. No, but,
Seriously.
no, but like
Yeah.
there's a
But
there's
there's
a like
different
specific
pronunciations.
pronunciation, and also there's a specific word. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. It's like frituras. Does that ring a bell?
No.
Okay, of course it,
It
doesn't.
really
There's a
doesn't.
shush sound in there, which
But
is
yeah.
half right.
Yeah.
It's like a churro, but it's only better because just the
Oh.
way it's like.
Maybe it's from the region you've been.
Yeah. So like if you've ever been to like more, I think it's more southern Portugal, so like Mafra da Seda.
Uh-huh.
Terrible pronunciations again, but
The Algarve.
Algarve is overrated as well.
Albufeira.
I agree.
Thank you.
It's a little
Did
bit
I say the
overrated.
name right?
Albufeira.
Albufeira, yeah.
Yes.
It's quite good.
Lagos.
Yeah, that's quite
Yeah.
good. It's quite good.
But yeah, so I can't really give a healthy option, but it's just a really tasty food. Like if you like pastries and donuts, you have to try it out. I don't want to say it again because I can't get the pronunciation
Go on,
correct.
say it.
I don't know what it's called. It's like a frituras, and that makes I couldn't even spell it out
Bless you.
It sounds like you're saying verduras, and verduras means vegetables.
for you. It's,
So
yeah,
I don't
it's
think
not a
it will
vegetable.
be that. No.
I don't know how it's created. It's kind of like a churro, I think, because on like so you know in England we have your burger vans. In Portugal, I've seen like dessert vans where they create them, so you
Oh
have like
my
candy floss and
God.
stuff like
Oh.
that. It's amazing. And you know on the signs they'll have like churros. I know what churros are. It's like a churro, but I don't know how to explain it.
It's a
It's-
Portuguese churro.
Is it a malasada?
No,
Okay.
isn't that
That
completely
sounds like
different?
salad.
A malasada is something we do in Madeira.
Oh, I thought
So-
wasn't that like a Hawaiian dish?
Oh, maybe.
Sounds like mixed salad.
It's kind of like a churro.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, it might be similar.
yeah.
I'm after this podcast. I'm definitely gonna check.
Yeah.
But-
you
I feel like
yeah.
we should go and try some out tonight. Just
Yeah, all of us.
Where-
Let's just go to
What should-
Portugal.
Yeah, let's just take a plane.
Yeah.
I've got another food experience just quickly.
Okay, go
In
on.
Turkey. So myself and the editor of the magazine last year, we went to Turkey for a week, and oh my god, the food was incredible. There was just lots of rice, lots of vegetables, lots of stews, lots of roasted veg, again salad, but the kebabs were amazing. Now, I'm going to admit that I have never ever had like a 3 a.m. drunk kebab. I've never ever touched the stuff. So I was a bit skeptical when going to Turkey, when obviously they have doner meat and shish and things like that. But I tried it. Oh my gosh, amazing. I'm not going to lie, I probably wouldn't have one in the UK still, because obviously in Turkey they're so different.
Hmm.
They're homemade, so to speak. So yeah, that was good. And the ice cream, it sounds disgusting, but the ice cream's actually chewy. So
Oh,
you
wow.
kind of lick it,
I-
and then like it makes a shape from where you've licked it.
Isn't that like most ice cream?
No, it's actually almost.
That was probably the heat or something.
No.
Yeah.
You keep talking, and I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, your
Okay,
phone should be on airplane mode to prevent distractions, but obviously that's not going to be happening here at the Pause podcast.
Just Turkish.
If you're looking for
ice cream.
professionalism, this is not the place to be. But our next question comes from George Valance, who is actually an avid listener of our podcast. He also submitted a question last week on our Ease podcast. And he asks, what is the worst thing you've ever eaten? And I'm starting that off because I hate pineapple. Pineapple is the worst
I
thing.
love pineapple.
Oh my god. It is
And
the
on
worst.
pizza, put it on pizza,
Oh.
put it everywhere.
Okay, so Sophia is leaving the podcast right now. You cannot put pineapple on a pizza, man. That is the worst thing you
Just-
could do.
It's so good. It's just so good.
I've never. This. Okay, stop distracting me. It's a podcast. But yes, so Helena was trying to show me something. But to get on to George's question, I just really dislike pineapple. It's such a squidgy, disgusting fruit.
It's so juicy.
No,
and,
it's
and
squidgy.
sweet. I love it.
It's not good at all.
You know what's not good at all? Papaya. Have you?
Never
had
tried papaya,
papaya?
so I can't say.
It tastes like vomit.
Oh, not like the vomit fruit. A durian.
Is there a vomit
Yeah,
fruit?
the durian is like I think there's a
didn't
part
know
of the durian that like if you eat it, then it just makes you vomit and gives you diarrhea.
No. It doesn't make you
I
vomit.
think-
It just tastes like.
Keeping it classy.
Yeah, here at the podcast.
Yeah, no. Papaya is just. It's not a good fruit.
Mhm.
It tastes very strong. You should try it.
I don't know
Maybe
if you.
not.
Yeah,
you
like
haven't
you're
sold
not.
it to us.
You're not convincing
No,
us that we
but
should try it.
you should still try it just because it's something I feel like there's nothing like it. So, yeah.
In a good way or a bad way?
I would say a bad way, but a lot of people like it
Mm-hmm.
as well. Maybe try the juice first because they sell the juice in the UK. But yeah,
Helena, worst thing you've ever
Nuts.
eaten? Any types of
No.
I
nuts?
don't like any nuts, and the worst type of nuts are salted peanuts. Oh, they're no. So it's one of those things like I keep on trying to eat. I try different varieties.
What about
maybe
peanut
a
butter?
cheeky cashew. That is disgusting. Peanut butter should be
I'm not a
banned
big fan
from
of peanut butter.
I'm
either.
everywhere.
so offended.
But yeah, I just can't eat any nuts. So there's nothing worse for me than when you're really excited to have a dessert at someone's house or in a restaurant. Comes out, nuts.
Are you allergic to nuts or?
No, I just really don't like them to the point where they make me feel a bit sick. So I guess it's just something I just really don't like, and I keep on trying them. But my family, to wind me up, they always, if they have like crunchy nut cornflakes or something similar,
Mhm.
they always hide some under my cereal and be like, "Oh, we did your bran flakes for you," and I'm like,
I smell
I
nuts.
can
something.
smell something. But a couple of times I've eaten a nut, and oh my gosh, no, not a good experience. And I don't like tomatoes either. Like
Oh, I
whole
love
tomatoes.
salted tomatoes.
Salted
Yeah,
tomatoes.
What?
basically all you do is cut the tomato in half, put olive oil, and then salt. It's
But
so
they're
good.
very acidic anyway.
Yeah.
So.
But you can eat them. Yeah, exactly. Just makes them even more like acid. How do you say
Acidic?
that? Acidic.
Acidic?
Yeah.
Acidic. Makes them more acidic. Oh, it's just lovely, and you can eat them on their own.
Sounds like my worst nightmare.
I'm not a big fan of tomatoes either.
Don't like
It
lamb.
it depends on how the tomato's done.
Oh no, just they
Like
shouldn't be done
if you're
to-
having a
Yeah, it
bolognese,
shouldn't be done for sure.
like if you're having a bolognese and you have like chunks of tomatoes, it just
No.
ruins it.
Yeah.
But
Like you mean cherry tomatoes?
I don't know.
Oh,
I think
dang.
it depends.
I don't really like cherry tomatoes because it's quite sweet.
Yeah.
So I don't mind the flavour of tomatoes. If
Yeah,
they're
it's not the
cooked or
flavour,
something
it's
like that.
just-
So I'll use
Mm.
passata instead of chopped tomatoes or tinned tomatoes. I will
Yeah.
use.
I don't know. I'm weird with tomatoes. Like if it's like a tomato sauce in a bolognese, it's amazing. But then
Yeah.
if it's chunks of tomato, it's
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Or in a salad.
yeah.
No.
It's not in a
something like
salad.
that.
It doesn't work in a
Sun
salad.
dried tomatoes as well. Oh, story. When the editor and I were in Turkey last year,
Back to Turkey.
I
Back to
asked
Turkey.
for a Caesar salad, and I was like, okay, there's definitely going to be no tomatoes. And the gentleman said, no tomatoes in a Caesar salad, of course. When it arrived, I was like, it was covered in sun-dried tomatoes.
Oh my god.
Just like laced through the lettuce and the Caesar dressing. So at first I thought, oh my gosh, this is like pancetta.
Mhm.
So
What?
I took a couple of
Pancetta?
mouthfuls. Yeah. Similar sort of colour.
Okay.
It wasn't very well. I was hungover. I mean,
I could tell in this case.
yeah. So,
So wait, did you think the tomatoes were pancetta?
yes.
Oh.
Sun-dried. They were sun-dried in my defence. They were,
Yeah,
like,
sun-dried
they look
tomatoes
really
look
That's
crispy.
that's not an excuse.
But the long and short of it is, I spent ages like trying to fish out my lettuce, and it was possibly one of the worst meals I had on that holiday. It was the worst meal I had on that holiday.
So you had both your best meals and your worst meals.
I did.
At least you had them both.
An incredibly memorable experience.
Well, George does also ask another question, and he asks, "Where is the best place to eat healthy food?"
Is this in London or?
He doesn't say, so I
Okay.
guess you could say whenever. But could you not say Turkey again? Because I've heard a lot of Turkey at the moment.
Well, when I was in Turkey with the editor of Pause.
Also, our audience does know who Julia is, so you can say Julia. She has,
Banana.
yeah, but she has been on the podcast before, so
Yeah.
Fair enough.
yeah. If you listen to the Ease episode, you would know that.
Some of us were subbing work. Okay, where to eat healthy? So in London, there's quite a few places. For me, it's all about balance, and as long as I hit my calorie targets, I'm not too fussed about macros at the moment. Obviously, want to cut down on the fat and salt and sugar. But I always download the nutrition menu before I go somewhere. So if I'm going out for dinner, I'll make sure that I try and have a accurate-ish copy, just so I can track and work that into my allowance. But I feel like Pret is quite an obvious choice. Places like Chopped and Tossed and Vital Ingredient, they all do fresh salads, although they can be quite expensive. Places that do sort of stir fries and things like that are usually good, but just be careful to look out for what oil they cook them in. I think that's probably the biggest problem with eating out is the amount of oil that they use and what they fry things in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I really like Wagamama. Like from the fast food kind of restaurant chains, I think Wagamama is quite good because they make a lot of soups. I don't know, I love soup.
Yeah, we can tell.
I love soup and
You didn't have
cooked
soup
food.
today, though.
I didn't have, but
No.
usually I have with
Yes,
soup.
you do have
like
soup.
mushroom.
Oh,
mushroom
mushroom
soup
soup.
is
mushroom
great.
soup. That's
Mushroom,
another
mushroom,
thing.
yeah, mushroom is another food I
Oh.
hate. I cannot stand mushrooms.
It's a
They're
great food.
disgusting.
So yeah, Wagamama is really good for soup. So if you like soup,
But it's not so good for other things, actually. I just had
Like?
a stir fry. It was a udon noodle stir fry kind of thing.
okay.
And I was like, that can't have been that bad for me. I looked and it had like 1,100 calories in it for the dish. And I was like,
That's a
"Mhm."
lot.
Yeah, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, but the soups are obviously a lot better for you.
Yeah. Yeah, if you like soup, Wagamama.
I like soup.
What else? There's this other one, avocado.
Yeah.
I've
That's
never
quite
been.
good. Yeah, they have like different, like they have salads. I think they have sushi as well.
Sushi's good in
And-
general, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I never really tried sushi. Sushi.
Sushi. Well, I mean, sushi depends a lot where you get it from. Because if you get it from, I don't know, a supermarket, I don't think it tastes as good because the rice is very cold,
Mhm.
and I think the sticky rice should be like freshly served. So if you do try sushi, I think you should try it from like a sushi restaurant, proper sushi restaurant.
Is that, I can't remember what it's called, but you know the ones where
The
they
yo
have...
sushi?
Yo sushi,
Avoid.
that's it.
Avoid.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. How
Totally.
comes?
I think the yo sushi, it's not as fresh as you. I mean, you can ask for them to do it freshly, but I'm not convinced. It's a little bit hard. It's
Mhm.
not as soft as it should be, I think. Like this, I don't know. Sushi should almost like melt in your mouth, and it doesn't. It's just you have to like chew on it
Mhm.
from your sushi. Just my opinion.
Okay. Please don't sue us.
Like this.
Who are you? This is the problem with podcasts. It keeps going. So what was happening?
No, I just too close.
Sophia was popping a bit.
What do you mean popping?
Like this.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's great
Yeah.
for audio listeners. But yeah, I don't really have an answer, to be honest. Like, because I'm more of a person...
You never eat.
That's a bit rude. I do eat.
That's true. You hardly eat.
I don't eat much when I'm at uni. When I'm at home, it's a completely different story.
Okay.
It's weird. Like, when I'm at uni, I don't eat. But when I'm at home, I eat too much.
We need to talk to John's mum.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, make like, help me to stop eating food.
No.
No.
No,
Start eating.
no, I eat too much food at home.
So John just basically does accidental fasting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say accidental. It's not like I forget to eat. I know I'm not eating.
No, but you said you just forgot to eat today because you're preoccupied with other stuff.
Yeah, so like I woke up, I had a shower, I got ready.
Were you not hungry then?
No, that's probably because I had a terrible night's sleep, and then
Yeah. John's got a Fitbit now and his statistics are scary.
it's not something I'm proud of. I wish I could change, but it's not changing. But yeah, back onto to the topic for you, George, our trusty little listener.
Thank you, George.
Yeah, thank you, George. So yeah, I don't really have a favorite place to eat for like healthy reasons because I prefer cooking myself. So like I was saying before, where I've been experimenting with different vegetables, I like going to Tesco or Lidl or any
Other supermarkets are
or
available.
other supermarkets that are around in the country. I do like to go to these little places and just buy my own food because it's cheaper and making your own food is healthier. The lights have just gone off. This looks amazing. Oh no, I prefer with the lights off.
Did you?
Yeah, that looks so cool with the red lights.
Switch it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't really visualize this for our viewers, but we're currently recording in a room, but it's a university.
We're recording in a room.
Well, it could be like in a studio. I wouldn't really call this a studio.
That's a studio.
Okay,
It's
a
a
recording
radio
studio.
studio.
They don't switch off.
Oh, maybe if we wait like another half an hour, we'll switch
Yeah,
off.
we'll just have to keep
Yeah,
really
we'll have
still.
to like drag it out for as long as we can. But yeah, I just prefer cooking food myself because it's more practical, it's more fun, it's healthier as well because you actually know what you're putting in your food. Because if you buy a sandwich from Tesco, you know, it has all these different things, and you may not. It may even have things that you don't want in it.
And they're dry.
And they're dry apparently. I don't know. I don't really buy food, as you can tell from what I'm saying. But yeah, I prefer buying food myself and cooking it. So even though you're all probably wealthy listeners that are listening to this podcast, if you know you want to get a cheaper alternative, I would definitely suggest just cooking your own food, pastas, salads, and whatever. It's so much easier to do.
I think people do that.
I know, but I'm just saying in
Not
general.
me. I don't do it. I don't
Like
do
to the
it
people
much.
that are currently sitting next to me,
I
neither
eat
of you
out a
don't
lot.
really do it.
I cook.
No, I'm not saying in general, but meant like in terms of coming to uni.
Oh,
you
no,
buy food a lot.
I buy salad at uni.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Whereas if you actually came prepped with your food, you know exactly how much
Yeah,
what
but I
you're
have
eating.
like a 2.5 hour journey, and I don't want it to get warm on the train or
Hmm.
sloshed in my bag or.
Smelly.
Get an ice pack. They work.
Yeah, but then it's just it's laziness.
Yes,
it is
it is.
laziness.
So to our
And
viewers,
I like
stop
the
being lazy.
university salad because I can have as much sweet corn and carrot as I want.
I hate sweet corn. That's another food I hate to our listeners. But yeah, moving on, because we have more questions to answer from our amazing listeners. Alessia Basana, I apologize if I pronounced your name wrong. She asks, how many calories should I eat in a day?
That depends a lot on your body and whether you're trying to gain or lose weight or maintain weight. So I think it depends a lot. Obviously,
It's a pretty vague question.
It's a vague question. I think a healthy adult should take about 2,000 calories a day. I'm not too sure. But for example, for someone like me, I'm probably not getting 2,000 calories a day, and I think I've
I'm not surprised.
never been eating that in my life, and I've had like a pretty healthy life so far.
We can tell.
Yeah, so I think it depends a lot on your body.
Absolutely. So again, Fitbit plug everyone.
We need a Fitbit advertisement.
Yeah,
Fitbit,
we
if you're
do.
listening, partner with us. We need you.
I have my Versa 2.
Oh, the lights have gone off again.
I was just going to carry on then.
I'm
if
sorry.
Nothing had happened.
Don't move
I'm
too
sorry.
much, otherwise they're going to
this
switch
this
back on.
looks so much better.
Yeah, so my Fitbit obviously tells me how many calories I've burned to a fairly accurate degree. And if I ate 2,000 calories a day without doing any exercise at all, I would be a lot bigger than I am, just because if I literally did no activity, I'd only burn about 1,400 calories a day. With activity, that obviously changes, so I do my 10,000 steps, gym sessions, etc. And even then, the most, I looked with John earlier, the most I've burned since I had my Fitbit in April was 2,400. So that's
Wow.
not a lot, whereas
Strong
John
day.
was...
My highest is 3,400 so far.
Yeah, so
Wow.
it really does vary.
Walking
and
helps, and you can read more
Yeah.
about that on the Pause website.
Nice plug again,
Thank
John.
you.
Well done.
I've been practicing since Monday.
Yeah, so for me, I'm trying to lose a bit of weight still, so I eat in a calorie deficit. I eat about 400 calories less than what I burn each day, so I aim for 1,500. And then obviously with my gym and exercise and everything.
Well, I'd just say it depends on what you want to do, you know, because everyone has different goals, I'd like to say, when it comes to their weight and their health and whatnot. Some people want to lose weight, some people want to gain weight, some people want to maintain their weight. So it's all about really working out and understanding what you want as a person, because, you know, like Sophie was saying, if the average is for you to eat, 2,000 calories a day, if you want to gain weight because you're bulking or because you just, want to gain weight for the sake of gaining weight, eating 2,000 a day may not be the sort of thing that you want to do. Because, if you want to be a bodybuilder, eating 2,000 a day probably isn't enough. Or, if you want to gain muscle or whatever. Yeah. So if you want to so I'd say, or if you want to lose weight, eating 2,000 calories a day might be a bit too much. I say it's all about working out your calorie deficit, which is pretty easy to do, but I can't tell you how to do it because I don't know exactly how to do it. But it's all based on your height, your current weight and whatnot, because I'm currently 5'8". That's not going to change anytime soon because height doesn't change. I don't know why I said that. But, if you work out what your current weight is, what your target weight is, as well as what your height is, all of these different calculations can give you a target to achieve. So if you're, say, 6 foot and you want to gain weight, you can use your calorie deficit to work out how to healthily, is that a word?
Healthily, I guess.
Yeah.
Or how to just gain weight at a healthy pace. That's
There we
better.
go.
Yeah. So, if you work out your calorie deficit, it can help you understand how to gain weight more at a safe rate or even how to lose weight. Because if your I think my calorie deficit is 1,800 calories. And because, in case you didn't know, just by living, you're burning calories because, you need to stay alive.
I am burning calories
Yes,
right
we're
now.
literally burning calories right now.
Like 0.01.
Yeah, it's a low amount, but, if we started jogging as we did this podcast, we'd be burning even more calories. Maybe that's something we should try for the body
maybe
edition.
like a small little bike.
Yeah, just
like
we'll record it at a gym. We'll be on treadmills, all of the recording devices, and we'll
I
see.
think I'm busy that day.
Yeah, but yeah, so it all depends on what you want to achieve, basically.
But just if you're trying to lose weight, and the question people always ask me is, I'm not losing any weight, I'm eating healthy. Well, no, as long as you're eating in a calorie deficit, you will lose weight. So head over to the NHS website, or just literally type in how many calories should I be eating, and then you can work out your calorie deficit, like John said, and it really is that simple. And just learn to eat when you're hungry.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
true.
eat in balance. You can't beat yourself up if you had a chocolate bar.
I feel like you're directing that question at me.
No, it's at me, honestly.
Oh, I thought it was at me because you keep saying that I'm not eating.
Terrible. I snack all the time out of boredom. I do binge eat, and I've had a really unhealthy relationship with food. But now it's all about learning to balance, and I can't restrict myself for days after just because I had an unhealthy meal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good for me in the long run, because then it just causes me to then go back to eating all the crisps and everything I can see in sight.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, tracking is great because I know what I've eaten.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that segues quite nicely into our next question, because Jamie asks, what food makes you tempted to binge?
Oh my god.
So, Helena, seeing as you're just speaking about binging,
yeah,
what
so
food stands out to you?
Pringles. Soft.
If it's Christmas and it's Christmas
Oh my
and
God.
Pringles.
No. It's only the original Pringles though.
What's the originals to you?
Original.
The
Like
ready salted. That's the bad
so
one.
in my first year at uni, I lost a lot of weight before coming to uni, felt great, and I put all that weight back on in a couple of months because I was eating loads of Pringles, pizza, and you know what I was doing to the pizza? I was putting extra mozzarella on top of the pizza.
Oh my god.
I did that
That's
all the
a lot.
time, not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
But I'd buy
That's
like
way too much
the
cheese.
shredded.
No,
for
that's
me,
too much cheese.
I would buy a 10-inch pizza from Sainsbury's or whatever. I'd put a whole bowl of mozzarella on top of it.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
those ones that.
Yeah. No wonder I got.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no
Those are
wonder I
good
put on
though.
weight. And
Yes,
it was
please
just
don't swear.
alcohol.
We had swearing in our last podcast. It wasn't very
Sorry.
fun to edit.
I used to go through like the packets of cookies, you know, the ones from Tesco, whatever, the freshly baked ones.
Oh, the
where
ones
it's
for a
5.
pound.
Yeah.
Oh, those
I
are
could
so
do a
good.
whole packet of those in a day.
Okay, that's a bit too excessive.
I know.
Yeah.
I had a really bad relationship with food, and it was probably to do with the relationship I was in at the time. So
Yeah, that affects.
now I have to really, if those food are around me, I'm really careful.
For me, there's one thing in this world that if I see, I'll eat the whole pot of it, and it's olives.
What?
Yeah. If
Olives are
I see
healthy.
olives,
Like,
I
in
will
moderation
eat
again.
all of them.
Really?
Yes. Like, there's no way, like, you know those pot of olives that they
Yeah, the
sell?
big
Yeah.
jars of olives, yeah.
If there's one, it will go in a day.
I know
if
I'm,
I'm around.
I'm buying you. I'm going to test
I don't
it.
like olives either.
I'm not a big fan of olives, but
I
never,
like all olives.
I haven't
any
tried
kind
them
of
recently.
olives. Oh, there's loads.
I'm going to get you some olives on Monday to
Thank
celebrate.
you. I'd
Yeah,
love
the
that.
launch of our magazine is this Monday, in case you didn't know already.
So Sophia's getting gravy and olives.
Yeah.
Gravy and olives. Yeah, it sounds like me.
we should have recorded a food podcast on Monday. Gravy, olives, a nice little party.
There would be
Yeah.
some like restraints as me just staring at
Yeah.
the Pringle tube.
And on that note as well, I think the reason behind it is because my mum said when she was pregnant of me, she used to crave olives and she used to eat a lot of them. And since I was born, I've been obsessed with them. So I
Wow.
think that might have to do, I don't know, maybe something to do with that. But
It
so
could
if
have
you're
done.
pregnant,
Be careful what you're binging.
be very careful. Your kid is going to be born and be obsessed with it, probably.
But then again, that didn't really happen to me because my
Really?
mum was craving a lot of fish at the time.
and
when
pineapple.
She was, thankfully not pineapple. But yeah, I think she was craving fish a lot when like she was pregnant with
That's
me.
interesting.
But I'm not a massive fan of fish
Huh.
in general. Like I'll eat fish. It's not like I don't like fish. It's just it's not that for me. I don't know what to say about it, but I have to keep speaking because it's a podcast.
Yeah.
My mum's was like Branston pickle.
Really? That's
Yeah,
really
and
weird.
also pickled onions.
Oh, not pickled onions.
And I really dislike both of them. And Marmite as well. Oh
Oh.
my god, my mum loves Marmite.
Marmite is hard to like.
Hmm.
I don't blame you.
Have you seen they're now doing Marmite peanut butter, which is literally my 2 least favourite things put together.
I haven't seen it.
No, me neither.
But yeah, in terms of like the food that makes me binge the most, I feel like it's the obvious answer, but pizza, you just can't go wrong with a good pizza. Because, I don't know,
You get
but
full quickly, don't you?
yeah,
eating
I
pizza.
don't.
No.
Really?
I think I've trained myself to just not to not get
But
full with
what
pizza.
sort of pizza are we talking about? Like
Your local
a
pizza,
frozen
your local
one?
pizzeria.
Oh, okay.
Support your local. I know that's a
Agree.
football reference that probably most people won't get, but
No,
you
it
have
went
to
straight
support your
over my
local.
head.
Like a simple margarita.
Oh no, not simple
no,
in
margarita
that sense.
is a margarita.
Yeah,
Yeah, like the cheese and
Yeah.
and
but like I guarantee any local pizzeria will always do a better pizza than your big companies.
Like your local kebab place, they'll probably most likely do pizzas as
Yeah.
well.
I hate pizzas from kebab places.
Really, they're the
yeah,
best.
they're greasy. They're greasy.
Ah,
I thought
that's
you
why
meant
they're the
like
best.
this little Italian
Oh no
restaurant
no.
that they serve like stone
Yeah,
baked
in
pizza.
Colchester we have like a local Italiano takeaway.
I mean,
I feel like there's an Italian every corner. Like there's these like little ristorante, you know.
I haven't seen one.
I mean, we've
Really?
got one in Colchester, but it's not very good from what I've heard.
Maybe they're not really Italians. Who
Hmm.
knows?
No, but I think the overall message is binging isn't obviously a healthy relationship with food.
Yeah, that's true.
And yeah, we've laughed and joked about it, but honestly, if you feel
Eat
like you
responsibly.
have that, yeah, but if you do feel like you have those urges or
Yeah,
bad
I mean, there's
feelings
nothing wrong with an
food,
urge.
then-
It's just make sure you understand what you're eating at the same time. You know,
Yeah, I mean-
eating a 12-inch pizza and a 10-inch garlic bread pizza in about 2 hours isn't a good thing to do, speaking from experience.
no, if you're
Friday
eating
night, though.
constantly to feeling sick to
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
point, then it's probably a good idea you have a conversation with one of your friends or family or whatever.
I mean, I don't know if either of you do it, but like weighing your food as well can be really beneficial.
Yeah, I have a little mini set of scales, and even down to. So, have you ever had Biscoff spread?
Yeah, I think
The
so.
Lotus
Really?
Biscoff spread? Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing. So obviously they have their portions, and I try to go for like half of that, which is about 45 calories.
Mm-hmm.
And I put that in my porridge. So again, I know exactly what I've had and will weigh it. Like things like pasta, living on your own and trying to weigh pasta beforehand was like, I'd put the whole thing in and then have pasta for weeks afterwards. But now if you weigh it, it's
You'll
so
know.
much better. There's a lot less wastage as well.
Okay, and we have our last question in now, so we'll try and keep it on the 45-minute mark. But unfortunately, they do not have their name there, but they're just asking, where is your favorite place to eat? Bit of a general question, but anyone want to start off?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. So I just love Pizza Pilgrims.
Where's Pizza Pilgrims?
Yeah, so there's quite a few in London. It's really
Oh,
reasonable.
the lights have gone back on.
Yeah.
Again,
This is
I was just going to do it seamlessly.
I'm
so
sorry,
I
this
didn't
is-
know that something
This
was
is
happening.
it's a weird room because the
Yes.
lights are just turning on and off for no reason.
Yes.
There's no one in here else.
Pizza Pilgrims, amazing. They only have like 5 or 6 pizzas to choose from, but the margarita is £6, I think.
That's
and
cheap.
it's massive. They're all Italians who own it. Again, our resident Italian, Julia, that is an acceptable place for us to eat because it's not a fake Italian. Little hint, anywhere with chicken in pasta or on pizza is not actually Italian, according to her.
Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, generally you don't mix chicken
Oh yeah,
in
I know.
pasta
but- yeah.
in Italy. You know.
Talking to you, ask Italian. Yeah, so Pizza Pilgrims is really, 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 really good.
Talking about that, my favorite restaurant in the whole of London is also Italian. It's called Lena Stores, and it's in Soho. If this is for a London audience, then it's good. It's
It's for
amazing.
any audience.
Okay.
But if you're not in London, come to London.
We're
Yeah, come
going
to London.
global.
But it's literally amazing because it's a family-run restaurant, and they serve like very little portions of pasta, and you have to choose like three little plates, and each of them is like £10, so
Ooh.
£30 per person, more or less.
That's pretty expensive.
£30.
But it's
It is
perfect for
worth
you
it.
lot.
It is worth it.
I can't see
like-
that.
What?
Perfect for you lot.
But you can probably eat less than that though,
Yeah.
because 2 plates will do. Like if you're not very hungry, 2 plates will do, and it's about £20. But they are the best pasta you'll ever encounter anywhere in the world.
I don't know what Italian would charge you £30 for.
Yeah, that's really
3 mini
expensive.
pastas.
I don't know. I think it's just that they have really different dishes. They don't serve your general bolognese or like your
Bolognese.
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 Ragu.
Bolognese.
Ragu.
Bolognese or lasagna, they serve like specific dishes from like regions in Italy. It's just
So
really
I imagine
good.
there's a lot of truffle. And
Also, there's a lot of truffle. There's probably one ravioli, but also the pasta is made there, like at the
I
time.
wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah. And the pasta is so famous. They have like another store just to sell the pasta.
I'd expect a bag of free pasta with that, to be honest. If I was paying £30 for 3 little pasta dishes,
Yeah, it sounds too much.
It's
I
worth
think I
it.
would like to try it, though.
Yeah.
If I had
Definitely.
£30, I would.
Does any company want to sponsor me to do a review?
It will be in the next edition of the Pause magazine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have an answer that I haven't already said. Support your local pizzeria because they have the best pizzas.
Oh, stop talking about kebabs and pizzas.
I haven't mentioned kebab once.
Yeah, but it's at the kebab pizza place.
That's touche. But yeah, it's just when there's football on or like UFC on or like a sporting event on that I like, just having a really unhealthy pizza and a garlic bread pizza
And a garlic bread pizza.
and a bottle of Coke
Oh
or a
my
can
God.
of Coke.
Full
It's
fat
just
Coke.
no.
Oh, phew. Oh.
It's not really a difference to me, but still, I know there's a difference. But you know, just having those three things and something related to sports to watch, it's just a really nice feeling.
What flavour pizza?
Meat feast. Pineapple.
Meat
Pineapple does not belong in a pizza.
I thought you were going to say meat feast and pineapple then.
No.
I was about to cry.
No, meat feast.
Meat feast is a bit strong.
Okay, now let's just round it up with some...
So does anyone have any final comments?
Yeah, I was going to do a little quick fire.
Okay.
What's your favourite meal?
I don't know. Next.
You're meant
No.
to... I click and you
I'm
answer.
trying
clicking.
to. I'm trying.
Click. No, now. Now.
Can't. I'm just gonna say lasagna.
Lasagna.
Spaghetti bolognese.
Okay.
It's you. You're answering.
It's me. It's mine's probably paella.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah, the paella.
Never have
Paella.
guessed.
Is that it with the quick
Paella.
fire questions?
Paella.
Paella. Yeah, that no.
So quick fire question.
What? What is
Favourite
paella?
fizzy drink?
Fizzy drink. I don't like fizzy drinks. I would say orange juice.
Orange isn't a fizzy
Orange
drink.
juice is not fizzy.
No, that's why I don't drink fizzy drinks.
Favourite drink? Soft drink.
Orange juice.
Water.
Oh my god.
Water. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
you
so
can't-
bland.
I like an elderflower press.
What is that?
What is that?
Oh, elder. Oh,
yeah.
it's
Elderflower's
so sour.
really nice.
I have no idea.
It's not great.
Anyway, on that note, with John being
What-
really
what is it?
uneducated, doesn't know what elderflower is. You don't know what elderflower is.
It's really bitter.
And I've never heard of it.
Let's just fade it. Let's just
No,
You
what-
wrap it
what
up.
is it?
Wrap it up. I'll
What
show
is it?
you when we finish. I'll
It's
show
like
you
this yellow flower.
But you
like-
drink it?
Yeah, you drink.
like
It's a drink.
flavourings.
It's a drink.
Really
Oh, I
nice.
have no idea what you're talking about. And on that note, that is the end of the show. So thank you all once again for tuning in to this edition of the Pause Podcast. Join us next time. We cannot say what podcast we'll be on next because, frankly, we don't know and everything is always subject to change.
Woo!
That was Helena Hicks, our sub-editor. I nearly forgot, but I didn't. This was our chief
This-
designer, Sophia Montero.
Bye, guys.
And I am John Smith, the junior designer here at Pause Magazine. And thank you all for tuning in, and we all hope you have a great day.